What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo. And ever since the introduction of ABL, Alliance Bio Legend, things have changed a little bit regarding the meta characters that we're actually going to be using. Now, obviously, there's going to be a lot of the same characters that we're going to be using over and over and over. But what I've decided to go ahead and do, guys, is make you a list of all the ABX and ABL metas, so to give you an idea of the characters you might want to develop and build for this game mode. And you'll find that a lot of these characters are actually insanely great in World Boss Legend, even a little bit in PvP as well, especially regarding tier 4 characters. So I'm bringing it for you guys right now. This is a list that I've made as far as, what are the best ABL and ABX characters. Now, there are other teams that I will mention in here, and I might throw them in here on this list later on. But right now, guys, these are just the current ABX metas, at least as far as I can tell. Let me know in the comments, guys, if there's anything that I do have wrong, and I will make the adjustments to it. But what I've essentially done, guys, is I got the ABX right here. So these are all the ABX teams, ABL, the ABL teams, ABX, ABL, right? Pretty easy to see, understand. And then we have the day. So this is day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Now, something to keep in mind, guys, regarding this meta is I'm going to have to make some adjustments to this list because we have different effects. So, for example, in ABL, we have Fracture for one season, and right now we have Snare. Now, for tier 4 characters, this doesn't matter because whenever you're using a tier 4 character, their striker ability can use a character that has Fracture, you can use a character that has Snare, even if the specific character that you're using doesn't have those effects. So if you see a tier 4 on this list, then you know that you can apply Snare, you can apply Fracture, you can apply the type of effect to stop Surtur from, doing his explosion, to where you're going to be able to do a lot more damage to the character throughout the fight. So do keep that in mind. So some of these may vary and may change. I may have to make some adjustments to this list, but for this season right now, guys, for Snare, right? Let's take a look at it. So the first one is we got Iron Man. Now, Iron Man is going to be all over the place, guys. You can use him on Blast Super Villain Day. Now, he is not the only one. You can also use Mephisto. Mephisto's very, very strong, right? But I think from what I hear, a well-built Mephisto, a wailed-out Mephisto can outscore a tier 4 Iron Man, from what I hear, maybe with a brilliant judgment, but I think most players don't have something like that. It's probably going to do a lot better with Iron Man, right? And this is the team that you would want to use, right? And then no restriction. Now, no restriction, guys, whether it's ABL or ABX, use your most powerful character, right? But I'm throwing out Iron Man because he really, at least for me, guys, he just puts out more damage than any other character I have. He just does better than any character, and he's a superhero. He can actually take advantage of Nick Fury, which is an insane support buff. He can cap out ABX, he can cap out ABL. He's just a nutty character, and that's why I have him for the no restriction. But you really want to use your most powerful character for your no restriction teams for sure, right? Speed human female. This is another one that's going to be, maybe, I don't know about controversial, but some players would disagree. But the thing is, guys, if you have a tier 4 Black Widow and you have a Rage on her, she will outscore Kamala Khan. Now, obviously, if you don't have tier 4 Black Widow, then Kamala Khan, Wave, and White Fox on Speed Human Female would be the best. And I might maybe another little section here where maybe I'll put, FTP or something over here next to it, maybe something like that, even though Black Widow is free to play. Just so you know that there are other team compositions that you can use, but that's the cheaper composition. But Black Widow, you'd want to level her up anyways, guys, because if you do end up taking her to tier 4, she's going to be able to go very, very high in World Boss Legends for you. That's kind of the thing about the tier 4 characters, that level 80, it really skyrockets their damage. But even a level 80 Black Widow, guys, level 80 non-tier 4 cannot outscore Kamala Khan. But if she's tier 4, then she can, right? So do keep that in mind. All these tier 4 characters that are on this list are at tier 4. That's the way that I'm looking at them. They are at tier 4. So if they're not tier 4, then obviously their damage is going to be as high as what they need to be in order to be the meta characters. So again, Blast Supervillain right here again. Again, guys, you can throw a Mephisto in here. And then Universal Superhero. Now, from the feedback that I've gotten from other ABX players, whales, they say that Scarlet Witch can outscore tier 4 Thor. Wow. That's crazy to me. Evidently, he needs a brilliant judgment in order to outscore Scarlet, at least in ABX. So that's the feedback that I've gotten, guys. I don't know how accurate that is, but I do trust my sources. And then, of course, no restriction again. And then we have combat superhero. Now, combat superhero, guys, there are other characters that you could use. You could absolutely use tier 4 Venom. You could use tier 4 Venom for this. He's not going to be far behind Moon Knight. Moon Knight is a little stronger, but not by a whole lot. I mean, it's not like by some massive, insane margin. Tier 4 Venom is also another one that I could throw in here with this team. You still want to use Sif and you still want to use Valkyrie because they're just going to be better supports. Agent Venom is not going to be a better support than Sif. And then Universal Female and ABX, again, Scarlet. Scarlet, you're going to see here a lot, guys. Scarlet, Iron Man, they're all over the place. Iron Man for Blast Mail again, Black Widow. Black Widow's all, I mean, you're going to see a lot of the same characters over and over and over. And this is what I mean, guys. Like Iron Man, Black Widow, Moon Knight, like all these characters are so good in the other PvE game modes. They're so strong. And then you have Loki, who still remains when it comes to Universal super villain, still the kingdom come for ABX. The guy can cap out scores, and then we combat villain male. Now, I have Hawk here, but you could use Carnage. I mean, Carnage probably do really well. I don't know. It's hard to say with Hawk because he's supposedly going to get nerfed, right? So I just don't know. As of right now, I think Hawk is ahead of Carnage, but I could be wrong. Maybe Carnage would be the better choice. And if you do use Carnage, you would want to use Abomination's leadership because it's 60% to combat types. And then, of course, Taskmaster, I think would be the best for sure. And then, again, Speed Superhero. You could use Kamala, Wave, and White Fox for this. And then we have Blast Hero Mutant. Now, this is the one that is going to kill a lot of people, right? And it's killing me too, by the way. Tier 4 Storm, guys, is the best easily for this. You can throw in Dazzler. You can, use Cyclops here for your team composition. She is the best. Now, obviously, if you don't have Tier 4 Storm, then, probably Rogue. I would say Rogue would be a pretty good option that you could throw out there and try. Or maybe Psylocke, Betsy, she's another one that you could put in here instead. I mean, Betsy does pretty good, guys. She can get almost 3 million points for me in ABL. So that is something to think about. But Tier 4 Storm is the best. Easily the best. And then we go over to, day 8, right? Combat Supervillain. This is a very, very expensive team composition. In all reality, guys, like if you're not like a serious ABX player, these are the best teams, guys. Okay, just remember that. These are the best teams. Doesn't mean you have to use them. You don't have to use them. The rewards in regular ABX are decent now. They're better. But do you really need to be, capping out the scores? Not really, right? But if you're trying to be competitive, you're trying to improve your scores, and you want to be using these teams. And this team's extremely expensive because you need a rage on all 3 of these characters, and you're going to do swap gameplay between all 3. Now, what a lot of players are going to be doing, at least and especially even me for the moment, is I'm just using, my combat team like this one right here. I'm just using my regular Hawk, Abomination, Taskmaster team for this, right? Because they are combat supervillains. But this team will outscore them if they are all built really well and using rages. Again, Speed Female, we talked about Kamala that you could use. No restriction, again, whatever your team. And then we get into the superhero alien male. And Thor, guys, is the tier 4 Thor is the best for this. He is definitely the best. The reason there's no other support, guys, because there's no other support available. You're just going to use Beta Ray Bill's leadership. Tier 4 Thor is the best, easily in this one. And then Universal Female, again, there's that Scarlet. We got Iron Man again, Villain Female, Suji, a Black Cat, and it sucks that, it's a paywall uniform, but yeah. And then Proxima, and then again, Hero Mutant Female for ABL. Storm, once again, guys, is the kingdom come of this with Kitty's leadership and Dazzler on the side. And obviously, I can't use Kitty in the Blast Hero Mutant because she isn't a Blast character. And then we have the Speed Hero Female again. Guys, if you're not using Tier 4 Black Widow and you have Kamala Khan, White Fox, and Wave, then, obviously you'd be replacing all these speed setups with that team. Alien Villain, Ronin, Loki, and Proxima. Honestly, this really sucks. Using Loki and ABL, he dies pretty damn easy. So, yeah, it's going to be nice whenever we get a nice alien villain in there that can actually get it done. I don't know how good Gore would be, but I don't think he's going to be better than Loki. I could be wrong. And then we get into Combat Female. Combat Female, guys, I've actually seen runs where people didn't use Sif. They just put She-Hulk in the leadership, and they did swap gameplay between She-Hulk, Titania, and Valkyrie, and that worked out. I mean, guys, I've seen 11.5 million from a team like that, so that is also a very, very viable team. I'm using this one because it's actually a little bit cheaper because you don't really need a lot of investment in Sif. She's really there more for the support. You're mainly going to be using Titania and Valkyrie. It's a little bit cheaper setup that's going to score very, very close to what She-Hulk and the other team score, or even more on some accounts. It just depends on your gameplay, guys. Depends on how you have your characters built. But this really is the better way to go, at least in my humble opinion. And then Universal Male, Tier 4 Thor, obviously is going to be the best, guys. And then Speed Villain. Now, this one surprised the hell out of me. Speed Villain, from the feedback that I've gotten, Green Goblin's the best for Speed Villain. He is outscoring all the other Speed Villains for ABX, and that is saying something, guys. There's some strong Speed super villains in the game, and this guy is actually outscoring them at Tier 2, right? No Tier 3. That is insane. With a really good build, he can actually get like over 10 million points in ABX, which is just, it's nuts, guys. That is absolutely insane. So I'm going to be building my Green Goblin. And then Combat Human Female. Now, I put up a lot of options here because the truth is, I really don't know. I think Moon Knight's probably going to be the best, guys. And honestly, between these three teams, I don't know who is the strongest. I don't know if Venom's better than Hulk or if Carnage is better. I don't have, Venom and Carnage at Tier 4 or Moon Knight at Tier 4, so I really couldn't tell you. So I just threw out all these different characters because any one of these guys could be very viable for you in ABL. Any one of them could be really good for you. I think maybe it would just come down to maybe your favorite character or the one that you would level up. I mean, Moon Knight, I do believe, has the slight edge over all of them as far as ABL is concerned, but I don't really know. At least from the feedback I've gotten, that's what it looks like so far. But I mean, guys, like all these Tier 4s, like all the Tier 4s that we have available are on this list, except for Blue Dragon, right? Blue Dragon is the only one that isn't on here. All the others are available on this list. And every one of those characters are going to do insanely well for you in World Boss Legend as well. So I just wanted to throw out that list to you guys, just to give you an idea of the teams that maybe you'd want to use for Alliance Battle Extreme and for Alliance Battle Legend. If it is something you are interested in, if you are striving to do better like me, I want to do better. I want to get better scores. I mean, today we have, human, female, right? And we need that snare. And this is going to be the best team. But right now, my Black Widow has a brilliant CTP obstruction because I'm pushing World Boss Legend. So I don't want to unequip it because it's very expensive to unequip those damn things and then slap on a Rage. But with the proc, guys, it's such a pain in the butt in ABL. I really don't like it at all. Very, very difficult. But if you guys want to see a video of Black Widow with the brilliant CTP obstruction in ABL, I can try to do that for you if it is something you are interested in. So hopefully this will help some of you out as far as, figuring out maybe what characters you want to level up. You guys saw Iron Man and Black Widow on that list a lot, especially when it comes to your Tier 4s because they require so many materials to level up. I mean, I think those two are really, like if you're ABX, ABL focused and you still want to do really well in World Boss Legend, those two characters really, I mean, guys, they're so valuable because you're going to use them so much in all of these game modes. So let me know if this helps any of you out there. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.